China's real estate era ends. Chinese economy faces collapse. People's armed forces emerge in Shanghai. Jiayin, China's richest man, spends a lot of money, but it's all paid for by Evergrande. Xi Jinping's bodyguards drew attention during the National Day banquet. Xi Jinping's 18 hell crime records have appeared on the websites of many Chinese military institutions. It's all covered in today's China Truths. China's real estate era ends. Chinese economy faces collapse. People's armed forces emerge in Shanghai. Amid the ongoing developments surrounding the arrest of Evergrande's founder, Jiayin, are gaining significant attention. Meng Jun, a Chinese entrepreneur residing in the United States, shared his analysis that Jiayin's arrest signals the complete demise of Evergrande and represents the conclusive end of the era of real estate dominance. However, it's important to note that Evergrande's influence extends beyond just real estate. It is intricately tied to the broader financial system. Many other real estate companies, including Sunac, Country Garden, Sino-Ocean, and even state-owned enterprises like China Resources, which owns a variety of businesses in Hong Kong and mainland, are anticipated to encounter financial crises. Mr. Meng disclosed that on the very day of the forum, he received credible information from his contacts in Beijing, informed that Taihe, a prominent real estate company specializing in villas and traditional courtyards in Beijing, had also collapsed. However, domestic media are currently unable to report on this due to the extensive ramifications within the real estate sector. Mr. Meng pointed out that the real estate sector drives approximately 50 to 60 related industries, such as steel, cement, timber, transportation, and appliances. Regrettably, the CCP did not foster the sustainable development of this industry. Instead, it was utilized as a means for the elite to accumulate wealth. Now, the CCP finds itself seeking assistance from Russia. The collapse of Evergrande is expected to lead to the complete breakdown of the entire real estate industry, subsequently causing a nationwide financial system collapse, and ultimately, a full-scale economic collapse. Notably, renowned financial and economic commentator Lau Man also asserted back in March of this year that the CCP's economic collapse had already commenced in 2022. It's just that the moment of complete collapse is rapidly approaching. The pivotal factor lies in the real estate sector. He analyzed that if this colossal dam of the real estate market ruptures, it will directly impact the debt market and the banking system. The banking system, in particular, serves as the CCP's economic Three Gorges Dam. Once the dam breaks, the land of China will be wild. When this scenario occurs, social unrest is sure to follow. Zhang Honlin, the executive director of Taiwan Citizens Congress Watch, recently spoke to Voice of America about the evolving situation in China. He noted that since the Tiananmen Square incident in 1989, many Chinese citizens had shifted their focus away from issues related to freedom of speech and political participation. Instead, they chose not to challenge the rule of the Chinese Communist Party in exchange for economic development opportunities. However, in recent years, China's economy has faced challenges, and people have experienced a decrease in their income. Additionally, Xi Jinping's government has intensified its control over various aspects of society. This has prompted Chinese citizens to reconsider their stance. They are now contemplating whether, after losing some of the economic incentives, they should take a stand and reclaim their fundamental rights, including the rights to participate in politics and express their opinions. Some are even considering challenging the legitimacy of Beijing's rule. At this point, it's obvious that the Chinese government will be making preparations. On September 28, mainland Chinese media outlets such as the paper reported the establishment of a People's Armed Forces Department by Shanghai City Investment, Shanghai Qingtu. This department operates under the jurisdiction of the Shanghai Garrison. It's known that the People's Armed Forces Department is a semi-military organization, meaning it possesses weaponry. The CCP has empowered local authorities with their own military forces, a development that has raised concerns and sparked discussions even on domestically controlled social media platforms like Zhihu. Some internet users speculate that the creation of this armed department may be in preparation for handling situations involving citizens seeking unpaid wages or providing solutions in advance for unfinished construction projects. What used to be labeled as malicious wage disputes, previously viewed as provocations or troublemaking, takes on a much more serious dimension when met with armed forces. Some self-media sources also suggest that the current situation is far from a peaceful, rule-of-law society. They question why the People's Armed Forces Department has suddenly appeared. For them, this development seems to be a warning sign of impending social turmoil, or in simpler terms, a signal that the authorities are preparing to use the military once again to exert control over China. This, they argue, may be a precursor to a shift towards military governance. Su Jiayin, China's richest man, spends a lot of money, but it's all paid for by Evergrande. Evergrande's founder, Su Jiayin, along with a group of company executives, found themselves under investigation, casting a shadow over the once mighty Evergrande business empire. This investigation led to a flurry of revelations and scandals about Su Jiayin and Evergrande circulating on the internet. An article titled Su's Crime and Punishment, published on September 30th via the WeChat public account Zhou Lu Chu, unveiled numerous aspects of Su Jiayin's life. Additionally, it exposed the practice of Evergrande executives utilizing shell companies for off-balance sheet financing, resulting in the accumulation of substantial debts for the company. Simultaneously, these executives were reaping substantial financial gains, along with other undisclosed insider information. According to the aforementioned article, despite Su Jiayin's status as one of China's wealthiest individuals, he largely relies on the company to cover his extravagant personal expenditures. His daily life is characterized by opulence, with the cost of a typical banquet exceeding 10 million yuan, about $1.392 million. Notable expenses include maintaining a fleet of 4 private jets, including Airbus ACJ330 and Airbus ACJ319 models, wine cellars located in Hong Kong, expenses related to ancestral grave upkeep, gift-giving to fellow villagers, and even footing the bill for his son-in-law's wedding banquet through Evergrande Shenzhen Company. For instance, in late 2018, Su Jiayin, returning to his hometown in triumph, decided to distribute a generous 3,000 yuan, about $417, red envelope to each family in his native village, along with various food items for the new year. As an expression of gratitude, the villagers erected a famous for eternity monument in his honor. The article further unveiled intriguing details about Su Jiayin's Shenzhen headquarters, which, surprisingly, is housed within a leased, prestigious 42-floor office building. While most individuals can access up to the 40th floor, access to the 41st and 42nd floors is a privilege granted to only a select few. Apart from Su himself, this exclusive group includes personnel from the president's office and the business office. Among the amenities on the 41st floor are restaurants, tea rooms, gyms, and even a KTV. For approximately 2 years, Su Jiayin frequently hosted special guests in the space, often indulging in the fine cognac of Louis XIII. Meanwhile, the 42nd floor serves as a private clubhouse, primarily frequented by the ladies of the president's office and the business office. Interestingly, it is rumored that Mrs. Su, Ding Yimei, visited the 42nd floor once, only to emerge with a disapproving expression on her face. The article also referenced reports from other media sources, indicating that in August of the same year, just before Evergrande's crisis, Ding Yimei had initiated divorce proceedings with Su Jiayin and successfully concluded the division of their assets. This move coincided with the widespread speculation of investigations into Evergrande's financial dealings. Ding Yimei, who held a Canadian passport, swiftly departed from Hong Kong and went into hiding overseas, seemingly without a trace. Additionally, Su's Crime and Punishment shed light on insider information on Evergrande executives, including Zhu Jiayin, and their practices of off-balance sheet financing. As outlined in the article, over the 4 years starting in 2017, Jiayin held pivotal roles within Evergrande Group's financial sector, assuming positions such as President of Evergrande Financial Group, Chairman of Evergrande Life Insurance, Director of Xinjiang Bank, and Executive Vice President of Evergrande. During Zhu Jialin's tenure as Evergrande's primary dealmaker, Evergrande Life Insurance achieved remarkable milestones, including the record-breaking sale of 10 billion yuan, about $1.391 billion, worth of insurance products within a single month, and the accumulation of 100 billion yuan, about $13.915 billion, in assets over 3 years, eventually reaching a total of 241.5 billion yuan, about $33.606 billion, by 2020. Scrutinizing the flow of these funds reveals a significant portion of the investment funds for numerous enterprises, including Evergrande Group's 130 billion yuan, about $18.090 billion, strategic investment, which originated not from external sources but from financing facilitated through Evergrande Life Insurance. Subsequently, these funds were channeled back into Evergrande Group in the form of equity investments. The article goes on to reveal that following Evergrande's unsuccessful attempt to return to A shares in 2020, Jiayin took the initiative to draw in top-level executives like Zhang Jindong, Wang Wenin, and Grandland Chairman Yi Yuanxi for investment in a significant project. Su announced that out of the 130 billion yuan, a substantial portion, specifically 86.3 billion yuan, would be allocated to this endeavor, with an agreement in place for the conversion of these funds into common shares to be held for the long term. Just 2 months later, Evergrande announced that 125.7 billion yuan out of the total 130 billion yuan strategic investment had been successfully signed and converted into ordinary shares. However, in a surprising twist, 2 months after this announcement, Zhuhai Heyuan Rongtai and Zhuhai Heyuan Rongshi, entities backed by Evergrande Life Insurance, surreptitiously transferred a sum of funds through equity investments to a relatively obscure company under the Jiayin Group, Evergrande Real Estate's strategic investor. This covert maneuver was executed via a subsidiary of Jiayin Xinxin Investment Group, utilizing a mutual investment strategy to discreetly retrieve the invested capital. Furthermore, the WeChat public account Study Plus When You Are Sick also published an article on September 30th, dissecting Evergrande's business practices. The article forthrightly asserts, what Evergrande, the giant in the industry, feeds on is not real estate profits but leverage. It provides an illuminating description of Evergrande's operational tactics, highlighting that the company's primary business generates cash flow and initial guarantees, while it secures bank loans, purchases land, uses it as collateral, acquires more land, and continues the cycle. The article emphasizes that, in reality, only a fraction of the borrowed funds are genuinely invested in constructing properties. A particularly harsh example of Evergrande employing such tactics is exemplified by the Evergrande Yuhutianxia community located in Su Jiayin's hometown in Hunan Province. After securing land through loans, Evergrande initially erected a gate and commenced selling properties. However, once the properties were sold and the payments were collected, the property owners were shocked to find that the site, beyond the gate of Yuhutianxia, was overgrown with weeds, tall enough to obscure a person. The entire project remained unfinished from its inception, leaving the property owners deeply dismayed. Xi Jinping's bodyguards drew attention during the National Day banquet. Chinese President Xi Jinping recently attended the Chinese Communist Party's National Day cocktail reception, accompanied by a vigilant bodyguard who garnered significant attention for his stern demeanor. Footage from the CCP's official media reveals that during this National Day event, a somber male attendant was exclusively tasked with providing personal services to Xi Jinping, such as offering him glasses and juice. Notably, other CCP officials did not have similar attendants. As Xi Jinping raised his glass for a toast, the attendant maintained a serious expression and closely monitored the senior officials surrounding the Chinese leader. This marked the first time Xi Jinping utilized male attendants during a major CCP gathering. In contrast, other high-ranking CCP officials did not receive this level of personalized service. Yu Shan, a current affairs commentator writing for the Epoch Times, speculated that these male attendants could swiftly transition into bodyguard roles in case of an emergency. This choice to employ personal attendants and likely personal bodyguards at the National Day cocktail reception, which hosted numerous top officials, underscores Xi Jinping's evident concern for his safety. Official reports state that the safety of Chinese Communist Party (CCP) leaders, referred to as Shanghai bodyguards, falls under the command of the Central Security Bureau. These individuals are special forces members who have undergone rigorous training. Xi Jinping is one of the most frequently photographed individuals in both his domestic and international public appearances, and his bodyguard is often seen in close proximity. On December 28, 2013, an incident at Qingfeng's steamed bun restaurant where Xi Jinping was seen enjoying steamed buns alongside a personal bodyguard garnered significant attention. However, during Xi Jinping's 2017 visit to the United States, the official media rarely discussed his personal bodyguards, characterizing them as somewhat enigmatic figures with no publicly available official credentials or titles. They were occasionally seen wearing casual military attire. On April 11, 2023, during Xi Jinping's inspection of the naval force in Zhangjiang, Guangdong, the identity of the chief guard at Shanghai was revealed for the first time. CCTV footage showed a senior colonel named Yu Fei, who had been accompanying Xi Jinping for a minimum of 6 years. Yu Fei's desk displayed a name tag and an armband indicating his affiliation with the Joint Staff of the Central Military Commission. However, the report did not provide details about Yu Fei's physical appearance. The Central Guard Bureau operates under the direct oversight of the General Office of the CPC Central Committee and serves as a military unit associated with the Joint Staff Department of the Central Military Commission. Yu Fei is reported to be Xi Jinping's second personal guard since he assumed power. The former chief guard, who had been with Xi Jinping since his tenure as the country's vice president in 2007, was replaced by Yu Fei around 2016. At that time, Yu Fei held the rank of colonel and has since advanced to the position of deputy division officer. The reasons behind Xi Jinping's decision to change his personal bodyguard remain undisclosed to the public. Recent revelations from authoritative sources, as reported by the Epoch Times, suggest that Xi Jinping harbors concerns about potential assassination attempts and places great importance on prophetic guidance. As a result, he has taken extensive security precautions, sometimes making unexplained absences from public view. In August of this year, Xi Jinping unexpectedly skipped the BRICS Business Forum during the BRICS Summit in South Africa, sparking speculation about potential security risks during the summit. More recently, Xi Jinping initiated a sweeping purge of his close associates within the military, resulting in significant changes within the rocket force's leadership. Additionally, Li Shangfu, the Minister of National Defense for the CCP, faced a corruption investigation, causing unrest within the military. During a speech delivered on September 28 at the National Day reception, Xi Jinping admitted that the road ahead would be challenging. Footage from state media captured Xi wearing a somber expression while speaking, in contrast to several other members of the Standing Committee who appeared similarly subdued. Wang He, a columnist for the Epoch Times, remarked that Xi Jinping's decision to extend his rule beyond the CCP's internal rules and empower Xi Jinping could lead to internal strife in Shanghai and a precarious position for Xi Jinping himself. Despite his outward appearance of consolidating power, this move may ultimately backfire, contributing to the CCP's potential downfall. These developments stem from Xi Jinping's choice to prioritize protecting the party, inadvertently exacerbating his own crisis and hastening the decline of the CCP. Xi Jinping's 18 hell crime records have appeared on the websites of many Chinese military institutions. On October 2, alarming reports emerged on the internet regarding the presence of numerous Xi Jinping's 18 hell crime records on the website of Wuchang Vocational College, a Chinese institution responsible for training non-commissioned officers across various military branches. These disturbing records were not confined to one platform, as similar images surfaced on the official websites of China's Nanyang National Defense Education Base, the Naval Engineering University, and even Hebei's Handan City Citizen Card. The leaked content attributed to an individual identified as Anonymous 64 within the record of crimes in 18 levels of hell depicts highly provocative statements. These statements accompany descriptions of offenses associated with each of the 18 levels of hell. For instance, the first level, known as tongue-pulling hell, alleges that the Belt and Road Initiative has deceived cooperating countries. The second level, dubbed Scissors Hell, accuses the foreign minister of involvement in salacious news. The third level, termed Iron Tree Hell, raises concerns about the establishment of overseas police stations aimed at strict control of dissidents. The fourth level, ominously titled the Hell of Evil, points to concerns about Xi Jinping's indefinite re-election, seen as a form of dictatorship. The fifth level, referred to as Steamer Hell, claims that Xi Jinping's administration concealed information related to the origins of the new coronavirus. The sixth level, called Copper Pillar Hell, accuses authorities of liquidating individuals associated with anti-extradition and white paper revolutionary movements, all of which are detailed within these disturbing records. The seventh level, termed Mountain of Swords Hell, accuses the authorities of persecuting ethnic minorities in Tibet and Xinjiang. The eighth level, known as Iceberg Hell, raises concerns about the alleged disregard for sexual scandals involving political figures like Jiang Zemin, Zhang Gaoli, and Bo Xilai, while also suppressing victims. The ninth level, referred to as Oil Pot Hell, claims the liquidation of private enterprises to benefit state-owned assets. The 10th and 11th levels, termed Cow Pit Hell and Stone Pressure Hell, respectively, allege the violent harvesting of organs from Falun Gong practitioners and prisoners of conscience. The 12th level, known as Spring Mortar Hell, points to extravagant expenditures on foreign dignitaries, contrasting with perceived neglect of the people. Moving on, the 13th level, named Blood Pool Hell, accuses law enforcement officials of violent actions during rural, agricultural, and cultural management. The 14th level, dubbed Wuish Death Hell, suggests a concerning trend of officials disappearing or experiencing depression and suicide without apparent cause. The 15th level, titled Crime and Mint Hell, involves accusations of accounting manipulation against those critical of Xi Jinping's administration. The 16th level, termed Volcano Hell, highlights the alleged consequences of poorly executed projects causing fatalities and injuries. Finally, the 17th and 18th levels, referred to as Stone Mill Hell and Knife Saw Hell, respectively, point to rising unemployment rates amidst economic depression. Furthermore, it was observed that the official website of China's Nanyang National Defense Education Base prominently featured images related to Xi Jinping's 18 levels of hell crimes. However, these images seem to have been removed from the site. Similarly, the official homepage of Naval Engineering University in Wuhan, Hubei Province, displayed these images under the College News and Discipline Introduction sections, but the official website of the university is currently inaccessible. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.